I would have to say throughout, like for me, starting from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade, I never learned about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I never learned about Marcus Garvey.
W.E.B. Du Bois. He was a co-founder of the NAACP, and he preached knowledge, like spreading knowledge and educating Black people for our own advancement. And he often conflicted with the other African American leaders, such as Booker T. Washington.
W.E.B. Du Bois, I feel like should get more recognition because of the ideologies that he I guess came up with, and even his book, like The Soul of Black Folk. A lot of people haven't read it, and I feel like it's imperative for Black people to read it because it's kind of talking about the struggles that we face in America, like being Black in America, like what that actually means.
His name is Gary Morgan. He created the gas mask and the traffic light. Of course, he didn't get it patented because somebody else got it patented and made billions of dollars off of these inventions that we created.
Martin Luther King Jr. Everybody knows him. He's basically the poster child of the civil rights movement. So I mean, you can never forget about him. The "I Have a Dream" speech, and I believe that civil rights movement is kind of synonymous with Martin Luther King Jr. Although there are other people who also helped him in spreading his message, like Rosa Parks and people.
My favorite activist is Ruby Bridges, and she's one of my favorite because she's a Black woman, and we all know like that's like a double jeopardy. Like being Black and a woman is kind of the worst thing in society's eyes. And even as a young child, she advocated for segregation. I mean, not segregation, desegregation of the schools. And she took it upon herself to go into that school no matter how many Black people were there, which was none. And what she did helped with the advancement of Black people in the education system, especially because of someone like me who is a person of color in a higher education system. It's like no matter how integrated it is, you still feel like kind of left out because at the end of the day, like this really wasn't meant for us. But because of people like her, I'm able to attend a university like this.
Black history should be considered world history because it seems like Black people created everything, and it makes me feel proud of the fact that I'm Black, no matter what the media tries to say about me, or no matter what the president says about my people. I'm Black, and my people did so much for this world that I'm just proud to be Black.
February is the month of Black History, but I believe that it should be something that should be celebrated year long, because there's so much that has happened since the beginning of time, and a lot of stuff is misconstrued by popular ideas. For example, people, because of Europeans, people believe that Egyptians are white. So in movies, you see a lot of Egyptians perceived as white people, but in reality, Egyptians are African.
Like the fact that we have to have a separate month kind of shows like how it's impacting my life. Like we're so, I guess, underrepresented, and a lot of stuff about our history is looked over, especially as Black Americans. Like people feel like we don't have a culture because they consider it just a mix of African as well as American culture, so they feel like we don't have our own unique culture. So I feel like it's necessary.